Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you just after full time here at the King Power Stadium, where Arsenal booked their spot in the fourth round at the Carabao Cup. 2-0 victors here tonight. Probably just about deserving of it. Certainly in the second half, thought they were the better team. First half started well enough. Leicester came into it just before half time, but I'm pretty sure we'll be speaking to Mikel Arteta fairly soon. He's just down there now doing his TV interviews. We'll be speaking to him once he's done there, and I'm pretty sure he gave him a bit of a rollicking at half time. Told him to get into Leicester more because they came out with a lot more energy in the second half, pressed really high, and it was certainly the better team in the second half. And own goal by Christian Fuchs off some good play from Nicolas Pepe to sort of force the own goal, gave him the lead, and then Eddie Nketiah, a classic Nketiah finish inside the 6-yard box right at the end to put the gloss on what's been a decent evening's work for Arsenal. And they now go through to play Liverpool or Lincoln. You'd imagine it'll be Liverpool in the fourth round next Thursday night, which means they could have 2 trips to Anfield in the space of 3 days next week, which, when you consider Arsenal's record at Anfield in the last 8 years, probably not the most exciting of trips for Arsenal, and one they'll go there with too much confidence with. But hey, who knows? This is Mikel Arteta's side now. It's a very different Arsenal side to the one we've seen recently. Some good performances out there. I'll run through my player ratings in a minute. I thought there were some decent performances, certainly from the youngsters. Mikel Arteta changed things up as you'd expect for this game. A lot of changes from the Premier League team. Same with Leicester. I think Leicester made 11 changes. Arsenal not quite that much. Rob Holding started. He obviously played at the weekend. Bernd Leno started as well. And Kolasinac. So there's a few players that we've seen in the Premier League starting 11s in the last couple of weeks, but not so much for Leicester, who rang the changes. And so it's probably no surprise that Arsenal came out on top. So let's go through the player ratings for this one, shall we? We'll start with Bernd Leno. Didn't have too much to do. What he did have to do, he did pretty well. His handling was decent from a couple of shots from range. One effort from James Maddison beat him all ends up in the first half, came back off the post, so he's pretty fortunate with that. There's not much he could have done about it. Brilliant play by Maddison. Would have been a fantastic goal if it got in. Dealt with the area balls pretty well, cleaned out David Luiz with one clearance in the first half, which looked quite nasty, but fortunately it doesn't seem like there was too much damage for Luiz. He did get up after being prone on his back for a little bit. I'll give Leno a 6. Didn't do anything wrong. As I said, handling was good and did well enough from crosses. So 6 for Leno. Defence, I'll go through them. Rob Holding, passing was pretty poor in the first half, especially played Arsenal into trouble quite a few times. But settled down pretty well in the second half. I'll give Holding a 6 as well. David Luiz I thought was good his first 90 minutes of the season, so that would be a big boost for Arteta, especially ahead of that game against Liverpool on Monday night, which we'd expect David Luiz to come in for, to play alongside Gabriel and probably Kieran Tierney in the back three at Anfield. I'll give David Luiz a 7. Thought he was really solid. Kolasinac as well, decent performance from Siad after he'd taken a fair bit of flack after the West Ham game, but I thought he came back pretty well tonight. Turned in a decent performance. I'll give Siad a 7 as well. Bukayo Saka playing out on the left sort of wing-back role was fantastic in the first half. Arsenal's standout player for me in the first half, linked up really well with Reece Nelson down the left. Should have had a penalty. Absolutely cleaned out in the box after the good little neat bit of interplay with Nelson. Referee waved it away. Saka was not happy, not surprised as well. I'm going to give Saka a 7. El Neni, clean and tidy as you would expect. Same with Joe Willock alongside him. Didn't really put a foot wrong really. Either of them didn't do anything spectacular either, but decent enough performance in the centre midfield. Probably won that central midfield battle as well, which was the important thing tonight. I'll give those two both a 6. Maitland-Niles as well, I'm going to give a 6 over on the right hand side. Forwards quite interesting. I thought Reece Nelson had a good game. He was substituted in the second half, but thought he put in a decent performance. Reece Nelson, like I said, he linked up really well with Bukayo Saka, especially in the first half. So I give Reece a 7. Pepe, interesting one, played out on the right. Obviously hasn't started the first 2 Premier League games. This is his first start of the season for Pepe. Certainly improved in the second half. He played a big part in the first goal as well, which will give his confidence a boost. Got in good driving run down the right hand side, cross into the box, and keeper sort of palmed it out. Then Pepe and Wes Morgan went for the loose ball. Ball came back off the post and deflected in eventually off foot. So it was a decent second half from Pepe. First half struggled. Had one really good chance on it, which he should have taken on his right foot. Should have shot. He didn't. He decided to try and cut in on the left, and the chance was gone. It kind of summed Pepe up a little bit for me. That not just the confidence isn't there on his right foot, and that is a problem, especially when you don't want to keep bringing up the price tag. But for £72 million, not really having a right foot is a bit of a problem, and it certainly was in that instance there. So, but he did come into it in the second half. So I'll give Pepe a 6. And Eddie didn't stop working. And same with Pepe as well. Fair play to Pepe. His work ethic was great all night. Did not stop running. And same with Eddie. Just constantly, as he always does, really led the line well. Non-stop energy from Eddie, and he got his goal. So I'm going to give Eddie a 7 as well. That's it from me for the player ratings here at the King Power Stadium. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.